to have you here. My name is Marta Bene. I'm working for Terdesom Hungary. I'm coordinating the REVIS project. Within framework this material, the info guide for parents has been created. The REVIS project title refers to responding to violence against children in schools and adjacent settings. And this project is co-funded by the Rights, Equality and Citizenship Program of the European Union 2014-2020. The overall goal of the REVIS project is to prevent, combat and respond to peer violence among children through
violența și de a transforma normele sociale și cele care se bazează
у держав, включително България, и
further information and materials related to the REVIS project, you can visit the dedicated project page on Child Protection Hub online platform, where you can also find the info guide for parents available in 5 languages. Before start the presentation and give the floor to the speaker, let me share with you some information on the technical aspects of the webinar and our housekeeping rules. Make sure you are muted during the webinar, during the presentation part. We are recording this webinar. Zoom asked for your consent. The recording will be available on the Child Hub platform. We will upload it after the webinar. There is an interpretation available from English into Bulgarian, Serbo-Croatian, Romanian. You can choose the language you want to listen to by clicking the interpretation option in the bottom and choosing then from the menu the language. For feedback, for sharing feedbacks or questions, you need quick answers. Also for technical issues, problems, please use the chat option. You can find it in the bottom. After the speaker's presentation, there will be a time dedicated to questions and answers, a session for discussion. During this QA question and answer session, please write your questions using the QA chat function you find in the bottom. Or if you would like to speak during the question and answer sessions, you can use the raise hand option. We kindly ask you to complete 2 short polls. One poll will be put now and the other poll with some short questions at the end. So please kindly fill in this feedback poll at the end before leaving the webinar. And now I'm asking Andrea to put, please, our introduction poll, please. And I'm kindly asking you to complete it. Please let me know, Andrea, if we can consider it closed.
Let's wait for a few more seconds.
Okay.
We are at the 23, 24 people.
Great.
Okay.
Thank you.
Okay, I'm ending it. So
thank you very much for answering the poll. And we are very happy to have this high number of participants. And to make a short round of introduction of you, we invite you to write in the chat option your name, the name of your organization, and the country where you come from. So we can see a bit who you are, from which organization, which country are you coming from. I'm not able to see the chats. So Andrea, if you can help me out. If there are messages about countries where our participants are coming from.
Yeah, I don't see it also.
Hello, I think the chat is disabled.
Ah, thank you very much, Mavis.
You're welcome.
Okay. Okay. Any change now?
No.
Attendees can chat with everyone here. Okay. Sorry, I don't know why it was a default setting that attendees cannot chat with anyone. It doesn't make any sense. Okay, so now it should be okay.
Thank you. Thank you very much.
Can you hear me? Hello.
Hi, Borislava. Yes.
Hi, Marta. Also, we don't have option to see other participants. We can see only Marta, Andrea, and Monica.
Yes, it is true because this is a Zoom webinar option, not a Zoom meeting option. So your attendees, only panelists can be seen. It is some kind of option that Zoom has, so it doesn't allow for camera to go on for attendees.
Thank you. Messages are arriving. So yes, from Bulgaria, Romania, Hungary, Ghana. And I can see also some colleagues for some schools involved in the Ravis project. Very happy to have you here. Serbia also, we have colleagues from Serbia. Terdezon, Kenya, welcome everyone. Kosovo, Croatia. Wow. Thanks a lot. Please feel free to continue to put your intros here. And in the meanwhile, I give the floor to our speaker of today, Monica Ruja, who developed this info guide for parents. And I invite her to introduce herself and start her presentation.
Okay, thank you, Marta. And I would like to greet everyone. Hello, everyone. And it's very good that you are spending your precious time and you are dedicating this time to this webinar this afternoon. It's very, very interesting and very good to see so many people coming from very different parts of the Southeast Europe and also from other parts of the world. In my mind are coming a lot of memories. I was born in Romania and I also was having some trainings and offering some trainings in Bulgaria and in Macedonia as well. During it was called the Roma Mentor Project. So yeah, memories are coming and it's good. Anyhow, I am a child psychologist, and I have always worked with challenging children. And for the last 10, 15 years, I would say 10, I have been helping teachers and child protection workers, professionals working child protection area. And I tried to teach them or work with them in order to help them to cope more easily and effectively with these difficult and troubled and troubling kids and their families. I have learned a lot from these professionals and also from children and their families as well. This is not a question, just okay. So since 2018, I have been learning a lot about trauma and how to heal trauma in different settings. And the main thing I have learned and experienced that all professionals, not just psychologists and psychiatrists, but everybody who is working with children and families, they can offer some healing moments for those who are suffering from shame or pain or neglect or being excluded or neglected. So I think that, or I hope that I will be able to share some insights with you in order to be more effective when you work with children and families. I think that it's very important to involve parents in school life and in the life of children, and this is the most difficult and most challenging topic, to involve children in the life of in the school. So I hope that this guide will help you, and also the interactions that we are going to have this afternoon will help you as well. I am sure that you are healing those children, you are offering healing moments, short, little tiny micro moments, even those times when you don't realize it or you don't know it or you are not aware of that. But when you connect with a child or when you connect with a family or parent, those moments, those real connections are the healing connections, which matter a lot in the life of these children. So I hope that we will be able to cover and reflect this main idea, and please feel free to ask or stop me or interrupt me by raising hand, as Marta said, or just write in the chat, and feel free to share your opinion and thoughts and feelings that are coming through this webinar. We plan it to begin with an introduction about the guide, and I will present my ideas and the way of thinking, how I was putting this together. And after that, I would like to share two short activities with you, which are, one of it is included in the guide. So this will be a short demo in order to emphasize the using of this guide, and also to give you the brave and once the need that you want to try this guide. And at the end, there will be a time for questions as well. So when you have questions in a bigger sense, then you can write in the Q&A during the presentation. Okay. Because we can't see you, I would like to ask you that when we have these small activities, short activities, then please feel free to write in the chat or just raise hand, and then you will be able to share your ideas and messages without being seen. So it will be a little bit weird, but I support you to just come in and share your ideas, to be a little bit interactive. I am sure that all of you have a lot of knowledge, and this webinar will be much better if everybody will share opinion and experience as well. So I am starting to share the screen. If there are no questions, then we can start the presentation. Okay, just a small feedback. Can you see the presentation? Okay, I'm seeing Marta and Andrea. Okay, so this is the name of the guide for parents to help combat peer violence among children. And here you can see the first 2 pages of this booklet, the guide, and also you can see the link where you can reach the guide, and of course it's in 5 languages, so it's easy to use for each of you. At the end of the webinar, we will put also the presentation on the Child Hub, so you will be able to reach all these links which are included in the presentation. Okay, so the main talking points here at the beginning, I would like to share some thoughts about the aim of the guide, how to use this guide, and what to expect and what not to expect.
Sorry, Moni. We don't see. I don't. When you turn the new slide, I cannot see it. I don't know how is it for the rest of the attendees, but I only see the first page.
The first one, okay.
Yeah,
it's the same for me. And also, if you could a bit enlarge it, maybe put it bigger.
On my screen, I am seeing on the presenting mode. So we can go the way we talked before. Maybe Andrea, you can share it, and then the saved one that is at your computer, and we can go by this, or I can try to share.
You can
again.
open it again, yeah, maybe.
Yeah.
Yes, sometimes this happens also.
Okay.
I think what you can try to do, but I will also open it on my computer. What you can do is first open it and then share it. But let me try to do it. Okay. Okay. No, this is not full screen. Okay, I will stop sharing and see like this. Okay. I will try again. Do you at least see that the slides are changing? Do you see the slide where can you find the guide for parents?
Yes, only that it is not in presentation mode.
It is not a presentation mode. Okay. And now?
Now it's in presentation mode.
Okay.
And second page. Thank you.
Okay, great. So Moni, I will follow you. I will turn the slides. You just tell me when to change it.
Okay, great. So on the third one, I think let me check my. Okay, so the talking points, we were covering the talking points. That is the third slide. Okay, so okay, I just go through. So we are going to talk about the aim of the guide, how to use the guide, and what to expect and what not to expect from using this guide. This third one is very important, I think, because usually we professionals who work with people usually have great expectations and want to, or huge expectations, and want to change the world and heal everybody, but this is not possible. So if you have a short guide like this with 18 pages, or I don't know how long is that, so we don't, it's not realistic to have huge expectations. But anyhow, let's go deeper. So on the fourth slide, I would like to introduce you my thoughts and the background of why I was putting this guide together like this, in the way like this. Of course, I was using all the information that was collected during the project. I was using the training guide. I had some inputs from the trainers and the project coordinators from all countries. So I tried to cover every input that was coming in. When I was having a training in Romania years ago, I have heard a very important sentence, which is here: 7 years from home. And this sentence covers that parents play an incomparable role in children's lives. So parents are the most important persons in a child's life. They have the most important influence in children's lives. It doesn't matter if this influence is good or bad, because humans need to be cared for a long time, and because their nervous system is constantly and slowly developing, they cannot choose to receive only the good influences and protect themselves from the bad. So this one doesn't work, because both the stress response system and also the reward networks in our brain are shaped by relationships in very early childhood. And if this shape is healthy or unhealthy, it doesn't matter for the brain. The brain takes in each and every stimuli that it gets to the brain, to the nervous system. Therefore, the presence and the attention and the state of mind of the parents in the child's life is very, very important. How the parents behave, how they feel, how they express their emotions, it has a very, very important effect on the nervous system of the child. And children cannot be made responsible for any of these effects. Children always carry out what they are seeing and what they are receiving. This is the reason why I think it's more important to start from the parents' self-awareness and developmental potential they have than to start from gender-based prejudices, because self-awareness is much more easily touchable than touching these deep-rooted gender and social stereotypes. These are very, very important, but if a parent starts to think about his or himself, her or himself, and tries to become more aware from the inside feelings and emotions, it can have a much more deeper effect on the child's behavior than if we start from the gender norms. with no good relationship within the child and the parent, or within the teacher and the parent, or within the teacher and the child. So it's very important to have these good connections based on self-awareness. And to start from this part, we can tackle gender and social norms, but with, the other way around doesn't work as well or as easily. On the next slide, the other part of the picture are the teachers. So when we talk about the school, there are three main participants. There is the child, there is the teacher, and there are the parents. So these three participants form how a school works, how children behave, what values a school is expressing towards the social environment where the school exists. So the presence and the behavior of adults and teachers is equally important, because they can provide a model through their presence, their speech, their clothing, and ideas they convey. For example, in the primary school, I believe that teachers can compensate for the lack of regularity or predictability or the care which was missing in the home of the child. I know that this is very, very difficult, but it can compensate very, very much in a child's life. In the secondary school, because those children are older, teachers can counterpoint the parental values or the family values through rational thinking and role modeling. Being a role model in a secondary school, it's a very good thing. Probably, I am sure that you also had some good teacher role models in the secondary school or in the high school. And if we think about those people, our heart is filling with good feelings, because those teachers taught us a lot about the world and how to behave and who we want to be. They had a positive effect on these things that are very important when we become adults. So all professionals who work with children have a very difficult task, and I admire all teachers and everybody who is working in childcare system, because you are having a lot of stress. You are put in the front of a lot of children who are bringing their stress into the school from home and from the social environment, and you have the task to calm them down and stay calm as well. But I think that this being there and connect with the children, which requires a lot of attention and presence, it can give you back a lot when you have the real connection with the children. So I think that this guide can help you and can help parents to be good connections people for these children. On the next slide, you can see a little picture from the guide. And the most important thing is that there are no recipes. There is no magic formula. I know that this sounds a little bit weird, but me as a psychologist or somebody who was working a lot in groups with children or with teachers, I know that I am preparing a training, and children are coming with their very personal thoughts and feelings, and I just can't do the same pattern and the same task as I did before in a different group. But there are a few rules of thumb working with parents is the same as you work with children, I believe. The first thing that you have or we have to build trust. We have to be as open as we can. The main thing is that I am keen on what is happening with that parent or what is happening with the child. This is the same question. And if they feel that I am asking this, what happened to you, and I am not asking what is wrong with you, then they will feel that they can trust me because I am open and I just want to understand what's going on in them. Sometimes it's needed to invite them and be very non-formal. Some parents don't come to a group, but they are sharing with us a lot of things when we talk with them individually. And some parents just start to share their feelings and experiences with us after we shared something with them. So I emphasize you and I suggest you to go through the guide and be the first to complete these practices and activities that are in the guide, because if you have your own experience, then you can share this experience, and that is also building trust in parents, and of course then they can feel that, okay, this is not something that is hurting, I can do because this teacher was doing this or was going this through, so it's safe for me as well. There are three main activities in the booklet or in the guide. One of them is it has the name that what can I do, and this part is containing concrete actions and tips to try with the child or to try with the family. These activities are easy ones and can form a connection within the family. The thing about activities contain reflective actions and tasks and small short exercises which help parents or can help parents to develop a little bit their skills. And the chat box, the last one, you can find conversations here between a parent and child. I took these short sentences from children who were participating in the Revis project in school activities, and I tried to formulate sentences for parents which can be good sentences if they use it when they are in a difficult or challenging situation with a child, with their children in the family. So these are the three main activities or exercises, types of exercises which are in the guide. And on the next slide, you can see the topics which are covered, which means this is the kind of the table of contents, but I reformulated a little bit. The main idea when I was putting together this guide was to go from the general to a personal level. So, and the other thing was to build trust in parents as they go through the structure of the guide that serves to build trust with them. So if you go through and follow these steps, then it should you should arrive to a trusted cooperation with a parent or with a group of parents. So the guide is going through presenting the project and gives insight in the activities, what children were doing in the school, and also there are some sharing what they learned and experienced during these school activities. Which is very important because children are giving very good insight and they are sharing that they need parents and they need the adults. And also it's very important to listen to them because children have a lot of ideas how to solve big problems which are occurring in the school or in the classrooms. I put a part in the book which is emphasizing the communication and conversation between parents and teachers, and it's emphasizing that this is essential. So if you don't have good connection or any kind of connection with the parents, then one partner is missing from the three who are the main partners in a school. And also at the beginning or the first part of the guidance gives an insight into children's everyday life and also the difficulties and bullying they face day by day or how they bully each other. So there are some insights about this very difficult topic here. And in the activities, I was following this order to come from general and to go to a more personal level. So I started to introduce the influence of social and gender norms and the importance of this and how is this affecting everyday life of children and adults as well. And the main part is about parenting as role modeling, and I think that this is the main part in the guide, and this covers how to build connection with your child, what kind of challenges can occur during adolescence, and also it has a main focus on the roots of the parenting patterns. It's a little bit about how transgenerational patterns can be passed through generations, and I think that this is the main idea which can help you to help parents in their self-awareness route. Okay, so this is a very slow process. So going through self-awareness is slow. Changing our parenting patterns is very slow. It's deeply rooted in gender norms and social norms and everything that is transgenerational. Transgenerational trauma transmission is, I think, guaranteed in each and every family and cannot change without self-awareness. So this is a slow process. Please give time to yourself, to parents, and every little change, every little moment when you can connect with a parent, that will help you to go through these challenging times when you try to involve parents in the life of the children and life of the school. Okay, are there any questions until now, or any shares, or I can go further?
Right now, no questions. I don't see anything in the chat.
Okay, so before we go to the activity, there is one last slide, what to expect and what not to expect from using the guide. Well, I would say expect a lot, but don't expect too much, because the main goal is to build relationship with parents, and you can build this relationship individually or in groups. So one size does not fit all. You won't be able to do the same thing with every parent. They are very different. They are coming with very different backgrounds. And the main thing is that in any kind of way that parent is open, then just try to connect in the way he or she is offering. Work with your skills, offer your capacities and skills, but be aware of your capacities, because if you offer your capacity, it means that your connection tank will have lower energy after a meeting with a parent. So building trust and connection, as you do with children, you can do the same with parents, but it will take you a lot of energy. So the main thing that you can do to connect and reconnect with your colleagues or with friends or with nature, and refuel your connection tanks. And of course, take care of yourself, because if you don't take care, nobody will. This is what we see among people who are teachers and professionals who work with difficult children. It's not easy to take care of ourselves, and nobody will do this work instead of us.
Sorry, Monica, we have one question from the chat. It says, could you please explain a little more what you mean by influence of social and gender norms?
Okay, we are going to have an activity, and I hope that we will answer this question. If not, then we should go back and I will answer. I think that it's easier to have the answer through the activity. And now we can go to the film, the little video, and yeah, let's see. Okay, so before Andrea will start the video, and I would like to ask you that during this video, just try to connect with your feelings and try to just connect with your feelings and your body. And I will have 2 questions after the presentation, the video. So we will open the floor to your feedbacks then.
Just a minute.
It's in the middle down there, the little arrow. Just go right and
Oh, okay, sorry. Because of these other things, I couldn't see the play sign. Thanks.
Okay.
It looks like rain again today. Dark clouds gather and fill the sky. Don't know how to talk to you, just know how to say goodbye.
Have you actually got a driver's license? I don't think so.
Go back where you came from. Learn to speak English.
Go back where you came from.
Is that what you think?
Okay, thank you, Andrea. This is a hard topic. The pictures we have seen here are difficult to see. Anyhow, I would like to ask you to give us feedback. So you can choose whether you are answering as a professional or a parent. Decide which role are you taking now, as a professional, as a parent, and the question is the same: what message does it send to you? Please tell us. So you can raise your hand or just unmute yourself and say the message which you get as a parent or as a professional. If it's difficult to unmute and talk, then you can write in the chat as well. That goes okay. That is okay as well. And of course, the interpreters will help you to. Thank you. So what is the message? What can be the message for anyone? There are no good or bad answers. There is one answer that you are getting. So the message is different for everyone, for each of us. Until you are typing your feedbacks, I just want to share that when I was living in Budapest and I was going to work in one morning, and I have had the same experience with a parent who was going in front of the child, and there was a little piece of paper on the ground, and the parent was just hogy van a megrúg? Just pulling out.
Just pass the way with the leg, like
pass the way with the leg, the piece of paper, and the child following the parent was doing the same 10 seconds later. So it's, you know, it's happening in the streets, and it's happening around us. And these are the gender norms, and these are the social norms, and these are the models that we are following. And this is what I was saying, that the brain doesn't make, doesn't or can't, when you are a child, the brain just can't make any distinction between good or bad. What you are receiving, you are passing over. This is the child. And when we are adults, of course, this is not happening the same. If we are in good option, but sometimes, it happens. So I am just, this is a very powerful film. I'm reading the chat. Children are learning according to the model, and parents' behavior have a great influence on the child development. Parents are model. Good experience will have a good influence. This is very important. So it's vice versa. There is another very powerful feedback. Parents' behavior has stronger effect on child than their words. It's much more important than what you say. What they see, they do. And if you say that don't behave like that, it won't matter if you behave different. Okay, I try to get back to see you. As a professional, I am working with the good or bad connection with the child. Of course, and you are the one who is able to make distinctions between the good or the bad connection. So you are the one who can build the good connection. There is a link in the presentation. It was on the teacher's slide down. There is a link which is a very important motivational video for teachers. So I just suggest to look at that video, and even if it's very challenging and takes us a lot of effort and energy, we professionals and teachers who are aware of our feelings and emotions and behavior, we can make distinctions and make positive influence on children. Even though when they are coming from a very challenging background with very different values, not good values. Anyhow, you have as a teacher a very good role and a very important role in order to change these attitudes and values. I have seen children need examples more than criticism. Yes, our nervous system shuts down when we hear criticism. So this is why you experience, or we can experience, that if a child is getting criticism or negative feedbacks, they just shut down, they dissociate, and they look like they aren't there. And this is because of the nervous system. We just try to close out everything which is negative. And this is a normal answer of a child. And this is usually, we say that this child is unrespectful because doesn't listen to the adult. But on the other side, the nervous system just works and the way how it works. And this is the normal answer of the child. Okay, so thank you for your feedbacks. I emphasize you to use this video. This could be a good start when you start to work with parents. It's difficult, it's a very powerful video, but it's very good one to just start a conversation and try to build trust with parents and try to send a message that their role is important, and they can't say that I am not responsible for the behavior of my child. Okay, so if we go to the next slide, it's just a small message here. I think it's the next one, Andrea. Yeah, the other one next. Yeah, and yeah, adults are role models for children, and of course adults are responsible for keeping children and young people safe from harm. School is part of the culture, family is part of the culture. So if you see or experience in the school that there are recurrent, long-standing patterns of abuse with the similar dynamics, you observe the similar dynamics, it is worth to look for the root in the family or the root in the school values. So if the bullying has the same face day by day and is recurring, then it's rooted in the values of the school or the values of the family or the connection between the family and the school. So it's very important to look for values when we try to, or when you try to solve bullying. And of course, children are also responsible for their behavior. It depends, of course, on the age of the child, but they among that they have rights, they also have responsibility when they intentionally are causing harm to the other. This is not okay, this is not acceptable. So they have to know that their responsibility is there as well. And I think that they have to learn this in the school and in the first days when they enter a school community. Okay, and we have a little more time, so I would go to you can see here, this is the activity which is on the page 13 of the guide. You can see there culture-based messages. I am sure that you as children have heard these kind of messages. Probably these messages can be a little bit different in each country where you live, but usually we hear that boys should not cry and show emotions. They are expected to be strong. Girls should be nice and well-mannered and know how to cook. And you know, you have heard all this, probably a lot of other culture-based messages. So I like to ask you to go to the chat. Andrea is putting there a link in the chat. And if you go on this link, we will meet there anonymously on the Jamboard. It's like, yeah, somebody is joining, yeah, and other people are coming. So this is like a blank table. And you can find here on the left bar sticky note, the fourth little icon on the left bar. It's a sticky note. And I would like to ask you to take a sticky note and write there a positive or a negative social message or a gender and culture-based message that you were hearing as a child, or not you, but somebody in your family, or any kind of culture-based message, which is known to you. Yeah, you can delete the sticky note. You can change the color, the background color. So please, if you have, yeah, the woman should be a mother. Okay, yeah, and if you click on it, then you can arrange and put it on another one, or you can just pull away. Yeah, respect your elders. This one is very good. Same. Okay, so please write some more if you have ideas. Yeah, you can draw on on this table. You can write with a pen. It's a little bit difficult, but yeah. Yeah, you must learn hard and grow into a responsible young lady. Yes. Girls don't play football. Yeah. Children should be seen but not heard. Yeah, you shouldn't question your parents' decision. Okay, so in the guide, on the next page, the parents can read more sentences like this, and the question for them is the same as for you. We are going to choose one from this frame. And on the next page, we are going to try to reframe these sentences. Okay. Probably, okay, one is coming. Okay, I would suggest to go with this last one. You are being trained so that you get a good husband in the future. I will copy this. Okay. Okay, and now I am, there are more coming. Okay, now I am going to the next table, the second page. And here I will put this message. You are being trained so that you get a good husband in the future. And now I will delete this. Okay. Thank you. Removed. Okay, so now we have this sentence here. You are being trained so that you get a good husband in the future. And now we have to try to rephrase this frame. And now you can write in the chat, or I suggest here to write here on sticky notes, more sticky notes. How could you reframe this sentence in order to take out the gender-based message, which is here? So there is a gender-based message included in this sentence, which means that a woman who is trained because she will get a better husband if she's trained, and she won't get a good husband if she's not trained. So how can we reframe this sentence? How can a parent say something to a girl which has the message that learning or training, getting trained is important, but not because of getting a good husband? Do you understand, or is it clear? Okay. Yeah, this one, yeah, I would study harder. So if a parent is saying that, if you study harder, then probably you will have a better future. Okay, this one is, yeah, good. Are there any others coming? No. I would say that yeah, I am thinking about the sentence, but I think that the main sentence is that the life, if you know more about yourself and you are self-aware, then you will get a good husband in the future, or you will be able to choose a good husband in the future. So yeah. The more you study and try, the higher the possibility that your future will be as you want it to be. You have to hear your feelings, not you have to do. Yeah. Great. I can see, and it's very, very normal, but it's normal, that it's difficult to rephrase these sentences. These sentences are rooted in our past. They are coming from years. Sometimes they are coming from 50, 100 years, from 2 or 3 or 4 generations. So it's very, very difficult to rephrase these sentences. But if we are aware of our feelings and if we collect our sentences and how this affected our life, then this awareness should or could help us to just don't use these sentences and don't give to our children in our families or in the school as well. So it's very important to just to be aware of this, because otherwise, you know, we are just passing through the main, that negativity that we were getting through our life. I am just presenting this, the third. We won't work on this, but usually I hear this sentence here in Hungary a lot. I was beaten by my father or mother. Despite this, I became a decent person. And this is just not true. You won't get a decent person if you are beaten. This is not true. And these are the sentences that people say who were beaten, that though I got a lot of beatings as a child because my father thought it was the right thing to do. Now, as a parent, I am struggling not to follow this pattern. It's very upsetting when I fail, and I fail a lot. So it's very difficult to change these patterns. Or the other one, I've beaten up a lot of times and I've been terrified of that for the rest of my life. I have no peace in my heart. If you are beaten, then peace will come to your heart very, very difficultly. You have to work a lot on yourself. So if somebody is beaten, then he or she has to work a lot on him or herself to just eliminate those negative effects. And it's the same with this one as well. You are being trained in the second page, you can see. So I thank you, Andrea, for sharing this. I think that we can go back to the main picture, and you will be able to reach this Jamboard later if you keep the link. So you can download the messages if you want to work with parents with these messages, or yeah, just make some print screens and you will be able to get that. I suggest you to think over these messages that you were receiving as children. And yeah, are there any questions in the chat, or there is one last slide I would like you, Andrea, to share, and then we can go to the questions and answers. Okay, so my main message is the last one here. People, not programs, change people. So everybody who is working with children and families is the effective agent of change, and not programs and not successful methods will change people, but you who are there and who you are connecting with children and parents. You will be the one who is providing the change. And of course, you were saying this in the chat after the short video, that children don't understand the statement, do as I say, not as I do. Yes, children are looking for evidences, and of course parents are doing the same, but children are doing for evidences that you as a teacher are a good role model for them, and they are following you, and of course children are following their parents and families, the close environment. So it's very difficult, but if you are a good role model, then you have a lot of power which you can share with them. So that was my presentation, and yeah, we can go to the question and answer. And I am asking that we had a question here in the chat, that did I answer that question or not? Or shall we go back to that one?
Thank you. I got the explanation from the exercise we did. Thank you very much.
Okay, thank you.
You're welcome.
Okay, so are there any other questions? Or I give the floor to Marta or Andrea. Sorry, I forgot.
Thank you very much, Moni, for this valuable presentation. And yes, the slides of Moni with the links will be shared on the webinar page on the Child Hub platform with the recording. Please wait some days, but we will upload all the materials on the webinar page. So you will have everything, links and information. And yes, in case of questions, please put it in the QA option, or also in the chat, and you can raise your hand and ask. And I can see that Borislava has hands raised up. So Borislava, go ahead.
Yes, thank you very much for your presentation. I would like to pay attention to the symptoms and behavior of the child if she or he is bullied or a victim of violence. And I'm speaking on behalf of a professional as a parent as well. And we know that as a parents, we have a very busy daily life, and we have many commitments, and sometimes we do not pay attention.
Suntem atenți la faptul că copilul este
sometimes he is hiding what is writing on his or her phones, or he's talking on the phones, and I think that it can be a signal to the parent that something is happening to this child, to his child.
Yes.
And I think that it's very important that as a parents, we don't have to left our child alone in these emotions and this experience.
Yes.
But I think that our message to the parents is important to be to say them how to recognize the symptoms of the violence, or and how to speak with them.
Okay, I think that what you do you have a specific question, or no? It was a comment, I think. Okay, so in the guide at chapter 5, beginning from page 23, There are some insights for parents, how they can recognize if somebody is a victim of violence or bullying, or how can they recognize if their child is a perpetrator, or he or she is the bully, so he or she is the one who is hurting others. Of course, this list could be as long as, I don't know, it's unimaginable. It could be very, very long, because each child has a specific behavior, and the parent is the one, and the teachers are the ones who can recognize the difference which is occurring in the behavior of the child. So there, again, there is no recipe, but the hint that you could give to parents and to yourself as teachers or parents as well, that when you are recognizing any little slight change in the behavior of the child, then you should be aware and start to think about what is going on, which means that I don't suggest you that when you are recognizing this little change, then go to the child and ask, what happened to you, tell me now, because of course he or she won't tell it right at the moment. Then you have to be like clever and start to build a connection and prepare the floor when the child will tell you, like, not intentionally what is going on. But this means that you have to spend a little time with the child, just go for a walk, or figure out some program when you ask him or her to go with you or stay with you, or just try to cook together or have a program together, and just be there with him or her. Don't ask anything, just tell your day, tell stories about your day or from the child's childhood, early childhood. So just give some hints and give the floor and wait. You just can't do anything. If you push, then they will close up. That's for sure. The more you push, they will get more closed and they will go further and further. So this is the slight change. If you experience some bigger thing, so if he or she is coming home with signs of being beaten, or doesn't have the clothes or the backpack or bigger things, then you have to ask there and to try to connect with the teacher as soon as you can, because there should be some information around the child or in the small community. Or you should ask your child's I don't know, the friends, parents. So make connections to be in order to show that you are caring and you are trying to build up something that is protecting the child. So there, the information will go through, and then he or she could know that you are caring, and there is a route for information. So there is attention on it, on them. Yeah, I think this is.
Thank you, Moni. And there is another question in the chat from Vedrana. In your experience, what is the best way to establish communication with parents who have different values or who are reluctant to work on behavior patterns?
Yeah, this is a very good question, and the most difficult one. From my experience is that you have to start from very far. So if you invite them to have a tea in the school, or just cook together, or we were doing here in Hungary sometimes these clothes We were bringing in a lot of clothes and food and things and just inviting parents and be there. We were just there. We were drinking tea with them and eating some bread or some little cookies, easy things, not a big celebration, but informal, and just be there and talk about like nothing the first time, and then talk a little more serious but not really serious questions on the second time. So when a parent is opponent or is opposing, or you say or you see or you think that he or she won't be able to change, then you have to give a lot of time, and sometimes you won't get anywhere. So there are people who don't want to change, and if you do anything, the change won't happen. And yeah, there are situations like this when we have to, you know, let them go and focus on those ones who are changing. And this is the power of the group. So if you change those ones who want to change, then they will send a message as well. So then when this happens, you are not the one or the only one who are sending the message, but there will be some group mates from the parents who are going to send the same message. So you will just higher the amount of positive messages that are sent. So involve those ones who want to involve, and work with them and send the message as many times as you can. And yeah, at one day will arrive to everyone. The change is not 100% that it will occur, but you made the change. You made it, you know, a try.
Do you have any other questions, comments, experiences to share? Yes, someone is asking, is it possible to get a certificate of attendance for this webinar? And yes, Andrea, right? Yes.
Yes.
We will be sending.
I will write my email in the chat. So everybody who needs a certificate of attendance, please just send me email. I will be next week on vacation, but after 5 or 6 days when I return, yeah, I will send you the certificates, definitely. So I'm going to write my email in the chat.
Thank you, Andrea. You can see now Andrea's email address if you would like to write her asking for a certificate. And yes, when we are still waiting for comments or questions, I just would like to share just, yes, one comment related what Monica said, that yes, the process of change is very slow. This is true. So transforming social and gender norms and combating peer violence, this is true. But the most important actors, the change of these agents are here and are available, because you are those human beings, we are those human beings that can make a change. And all of us working with children, working for children. And yes, I think Revis is a very good example. Revis project is a very good example of this, because this is a very valuable project with an innovative approach of combating or preventing, responding to peer violence via transforming norms. But the main actors that this project has results so far are the agents of this change. So you are, and I'm happy to have here a lot of persons working in the implementation of this project. And as I saw, read about the impacts and results so far, there are changes, maybe small changes, but there are changes. So well done to all of you. And yes, thank you. Last chance to make questions or other comments. I'm just checking the QA chat and also the other chat. And if there are no other questions, I would like to ask Andrea to put the feedback poll. So please do not leave before completing this very short feedback form. We are very curious to hear about your feedback. And I would like to also call your attention that we will have soon another webinar, always on Child Hub platform on the 2nd of November, presenting approaches to empower children and young people in educational settings. We will be presenting some approaches on children and young people supporting each other. Also, we will be speaking about country experiences in the RAVIS project, using approaches of empowering children. So if you are interested, please join. You can find all the information related on the Child Hub platform. And I don't see other questions, and I'm asking Andrea if you closed the poll.
Yes, I closed it right now, 1 second ago.
Okay, great. And before closing and giving the last chance to say all of you to put in your comments in your chat or raise your hand and say something, I say thank you very much. Thanks a lot to Moni for this very inspiring presentation, also for developing the guide. Thanks a lot for the organizers of this webinar, the interpreters, and of course to all of you dedicating your time and attention and being actively involved in this webinar. And as said already, a big thank you to all of you, facilitators, teachers, project coordinators, all the staff contributing in the implementation of the RAVIS project activities. So well done. And yes, we need always remember that we are the agents of change. So I think this is a very, very positive message. And yes, this could be the closure, I think, if there's nothing else to add.
I would like to just thank you for your presence and activity, and take care of yourself, your professional self.
Thanks a lot. And you can find all the information on the Child Hub platform on the RAVIS dedicated page. Please follow our project. There will be a lot of activities continuing in the project. So thank you all. Take care and have a nice continuation of the evening and the week. Bye.
Thank you. Thank you for a wonderful presentation.
Thank you.
Okay, so I didn't know, are we going to comment a bit on this or not?
You can stop the recording. Sorry, Andrea, I think.
Ah, okay.
Otherwise you need to edit it.